Stop what you're doing right now. I'm serious. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you something that might make you physically sick to your stomach. Right now, as you're watching this video, there's a nearly invisible financial predator that's draining the life out of millions of people's bank accounts. And the truly terrifying part is that most victims are smiling while it happens. They're thanking the system that's destroying them. They're recommending it to their friends. They're defending it online. This isn't some dystopian future I'm warning you about. This is happening right now, today, and there's a very real chance that you're one of the victims and you don't even know it yet. What I'm about to reveal to you is one of the most sophisticated psychological warfare campaigns ever launched against everyday people. And it's making its creators billions of dollars while slowly suffocating your financial future. You ready? Let's dive in. 4 words. That's all it takes. 4 innocent-sounding words that have become the financial equivalent of a virus spreading through society at lightning speed. Buy now, pay later. Sounds harmless, right? Sounds helpful, even. After all, who wouldn't want to get what they need now and spread the payments out over time? But here's what nobody's telling you. This isn't a helpful service. This is the most brilliantly disguised debt trap in human history, and it makes traditional credit cards look like amateur hour. Let me break down exactly how this trap works, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. These companies have spent millions studying human psychology, and they've discovered something incredible. If you remove the word debt and replace it with payments, people's brains literally process the transaction differently. You're not going into debt, you're just making payments. You're not borrowing money, you're just being flexible with your finances. It's the same exact thing, but the language hack works so well that people who would never dream of maxing out a credit card will happily sign up for 15 different payment plans without blinking. But the language trick is just the beginning. The real genius is in how they've eliminated every psychological speed bump that used to protect us from ourselves. Remember when going into debt required effort? You had to apply for a credit card, wait for approval, activate it. That friction saved millions of people from impulse decisions. Now, 2 taps on your phone. That's it. You can commit to paying hundreds of dollars you don't have in literally 5 seconds. The barrier between wanting something and obligating your future self to pay for it has been reduced to nearly nothing. And here's where it gets really diabolical. They've fragmented your debt so you can't see it anymore. You've got one payment plan through this store's app, another through that website, another through a third-party service, and maybe 2 more through your digital wallet. There's no single statement, no consolidated view, no way to actually see the full picture of what you owe. It's like they've taken your debt and shattered it into 1,000 pieces, then scattered those pieces across different rooms in your house. Sure, each piece doesn't look that bad by itself, but when you finally gather them all together, you realize you're staring at something terrifying. Your brain literally cannot track all of this. We're not wired for it. You might think you can keep it all straight in your head, but you can't. Nobody can. That's not an insult to your intelligence. That's just neuroscience. We evolved to understand simple, immediate exchanges. We did not evolve to juggle multiple microdebts hitting our accounts at random intervals throughout the month. And the companies engineering these systems know this. They're counting on it. Think about what's actually happening here. You see something you want. You click a button. 4 easy payments. Approved instantly. Done. Feels good, right? You got what you wanted without any paying. But here's the truth. You didn't avoid the pain, you just deferred it. And you didn't defer it to some abstract future version of yourself. You deferred it to next week's you, next month's you. The you who's going to get paid on Friday and realize that actually, after all these payment plans hit, you've got about $40 left for groceries and gas until the next paycheck. And this is where the trap really closes. Because when you're in that situation, when you're broke before payday, even though you technically got paid, what do? You use the buy now, pay later service again. Because you need groceries. Because you need gas. Because your kid needs new shoes, and you can't wait 2 weeks until you have the cash. So you split that purchase into payments too. And now you're not just in the trap, you're actively making it tighter. You're borrowing from your future to pay for your past, and your present never catches up. The people who designed this system are not stupid. They're actually brilliant. They've figured out how to make debt feel like empowerment. They've convinced an entire generation that being able to buy things you can't afford is somehow a form of financial freedom. They've taken the oldest trick in the book, charging people money they don't have, and they've wrapped it in such pretty packaging. Such smooth user experience, such clever marketing, that people are lining up to be exploited. And here's the part that makes me genuinely angry. The people most vulnerable to this trap are the ones who can least afford it. Young people starting their first jobs, families living paycheck to paycheck, people who are already struggling and see these services as a lifeline when they're actually a noose. These companies market themselves as democratizing access to goods, as helping people afford things they need, but what they're actually doing is extracting wealth from people who don't have wealth to give. The data is starting to roll in now, and it's exactly what you'd expect. Default rates are climbing. More people are missing payments every month. Consumer debt is skyrocketing, and we haven't even hit a recession yet. All of this growth has happened during relatively stable economic times. What happens when jobs start disappearing? What happens when incomes drop? Those payment plans don't care about your circumstances. They come due whether you can pay them or not. So here's what you need to do right now, today, before you watch another video or scroll to the next thing. Open every app on your phone that offers these services. Write down every payment plan you're currently committed to. Add them all up. Look at that number. Really look at it. That's how much of your future you've already sold. That's how much of your next paycheck is already gone before you even earn it. And then ask yourself, is this really the relationship with money I want to have? Because here's the truth they don't want you to know. You have a choice. You can delete these apps. You can stop using these services. You can break the cycle. It won't be easy. It won't feel good at first. You might have to save up for things. You might have to wait. You might have to say no to yourself sometimes. But on the other side of that temporary discomfort is something they can never sell you. Actual financial freedom. Not the fake freedom of being able to buy anything you want on credit, but the real freedom of owning your future instead of having already spent it. The trap is here. It's real. And it's tightening around millions of people as we speak. The only question is, are you going to be one of them?